evening, my fellow Americans. It is indeed Tuesday, August the 1st of 2023. Again, I'd like to wish you all a happy month of August. This is the first day of the month of August, August 1st. Again, I'm sure there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot that we will be discussing. Again, I just turn on my, and we have a lot that we can delve into. I encourage you to stay tuned and for the month of August. And again, just as we mentioned last time, for you to stay hydrated. Good evening, my sister, Pastor Gallen from the great city of Pembroke, actually from Sunrise. All right, it's the month of August here, and we encourage those of you who are a proud participant of the Robert Duverny Show. If it's Tuesday, if it's 8 p.m., there's no other place to be but at the Robert Duverny Show. Well, tonight we started just slightly a little after 8:30. Simple fact, we were a lot of folks called us. They wanted to be live part of the show, and they wanted us to sort of push it a little back. Okay. Again, we have breaking news here. We have Dr. Azor just got on the show for the first time ever since hiatus in Southeast Asia. And she's back, ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for all of our viewers. Mrs. Bernadette Remy is live. Dr. Duverny is also live. Pastor Gallen from the great city of Sunrise is live. And again, we have a wonderful show for you too. As always, we miss you. Those of you who we have not heard from in a week. A week to the Robert Duverny Show is like an eternity. So we look forward to seeing you here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. And they're popping up like there's no tomorrow. Again, my wife must be in the background doing all the hard work. And I encourage you, those of you who are always loyal to the Robert Duverny Show, to stay tuned. And there's a lot on the agenda. I'm glad Dr. Azor is on set this evening. Dr. Azor will be soon. Will be hosting the next indictment for the former president. The state of Georgia is ready to actually indict the president, bring some charges against him. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of precaution that are in place. We just have to stay tuned. We want everything to go smooth. Again, this is the United States, a country of law and order, and we must exercise those on a regular basis. Those of you at the local, state, and federal level, we need to show class. All right, facts. I like that. Facts are important, and we live in an alternative world these days. People believe the facts. They make up the facts as they go along. I believe that facts remain facts. All right, we cannot alter facts, and facts will be facts. It's either the sky is blue or it's white. All right, so depending on if you went to kindergarten, otherwise the sky can be red to you. But it depends what you're looking at. But then again, we know the sky is always blue. All right, sometimes grays depending on the weather. All right, my fellow Americans, tonight, and just recently, I thought I'd share this with you. I've conducted quite a few surveys with those folks that I've come in contact with, and they give me a series of topics that they would love for me to discuss. Again, as you know, the Robert Duverny Show was strictly created with you in mind. I know there's a vast audience who have a thirst for politics, but politics is something that which is part of our nature. This is something that we reveal to, whether or not you want it. It's part of your life. It's involved in everything that we do, every facet of our lives. Politics are involved, but at the same time, we should not deter from the idea of what makes us better as what we do. As oftentimes we've seen folks who have what you call goals. There are folks who make out goals on a regular basis as they come in the first time on the first year. They make the New Year resolution, and those New Year resolution oftentimes, unfortunately, they go out the window before a week from the time that whoever make those resolutions. Well, tonight what I'd like to discuss with you is that is your habits. I'm sure I'm going to ask some questions, and I'd like for you to delve into those and then ask me some questions. I have some goodies for you here Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I'm wearing red tonight. You'd wonder why am I wearing red? The simple fact, my wife just picked up the jacket. She said, honey, put this on. You know, mankind always have philosophy, everything that they do. Well, well, actually, she thinks I look good in the red jacket. So here we go. Case in point. All right. Well, tonight, what I'd like to discuss with you is, of course, habits. You may wonder why we struggle with progress oftentimes, because we don't create a pattern. Progress is something that you do on a regular basis. The only way that you can create some type of a routine, you have to keep at it. Oftentimes, we do that with exercise. Just recently, on vacation, I had a chance to sit with some of the greatest in the business and greatest minds, and we discussed a variety of issues and things that we plan on doing, and for the next year. What we've come to realize that there's got to be a level of habits, and that it may not be easy at the very beginning. Don't get me wrong, and it's never easy when you just started off on something. It requires a level of consistency. It requires a level of vision. You have to be able to see yourself a year from now, or ultimately the payoff. And that's what keeps us in the game, and if you don't put it this way. Again, tonight, we oftentimes want to reach our goal. We want to reach success, but then again, it comes with a certain level of dedication. And this is what we want from our viewers tonight. This is what we're going to be delving into. I'm giving you a chance right now to call a friend, a colleague. Let them know that the Robert Duverny Show is on. So I'm going to get some goodies tonight. I have some polo t-shirt for my viewers. I know it's hot. And those of you probably in Georgia, the state of Florida, the Robert Duverny Show do have some t-shirts to give out tonight with of course, the Robert Duverny Show. The only show in town where you can get relevant information. And I'd like to see some of you guys. Those of you who want some t-shirts, I want you send me a message here. Those of you probably on Facebook. I haven't seen any Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and of course the X. As you know, we just have a new platform, a new social media platform has changed name, formerly known as Twitter. Twitter has recently changed its name from Twitter to X. So if you see, those of you who may have Twitter on your account, you probably see a big X on your phone, is because Mr. Elon Musk have decided to use the X, the unknown factor, because he's trying to rebrand Twitter. As you know, Twitter has suffered quite a lot of revenue losses, and then Mr. Elon Musk figured, well, that's X. He's always fascinated with X, as you know, SpaceX. That's the launch that he had a couple years ago. So he's somehow there's something unknown factor. All right, I've seen, hey, look who's here, Mr. Ambrose Dilson just logged in. He says medium, no question but medium. Mrs. Ayat Enriquez from the great city of Pembroke Pines. I should point out that Mrs. Enriquez just had her son who just published a book. Mrs. Enriquez, if you're still online, please let us know your son's book title. We'd love to delve into it. At the Robert Duverny Show, we tend to support all folks, especially those in our community who are making great strides. And we'd love to hear his stories, what he has to share with the audience. And then please have your son, let him know to subscribe to the Robert Duverny Show, because this show here is a show that we tend to discuss on a variety of issues, and which could be relevant. I'm going to give you a minute or two while you call a colleague. I'd like to sit this slide up to later. As a matter of fact, here's what I'm going to do tonight. All right. Mr. Odilson Ambrose just said medium. Mr. Odilson, what do I have here? I have quite a few t-shirts from the Robert Duverny Show. I'm talking about polo t-shirt. That will look good on you, sir. And if you could sign up five folks here tonight before the show ends at 9:30. I'll definitely send you five shirts, five t-shirts, five t-shirts. Those of you who want some logos in Natasha, my mind for the past 27 years. How did she get on YouTube? I don't know. But then again, she's there. Very good. Now, those of you who actually online, if you'd like a couple of t-shirts, I'd love you to go ahead right now and sign up some folks to the Robert Duverny Show. And guess what? T-shirts will be delivered to you in no time. Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news. Natalie Boltex, I think Pastor Gallen may have reached out to her, but well, I should point out that Ms. Boltex here, she had a great show that comes on every Sunday on her YouTube channel. It's every Sunday at 5 p.m. We had a wonderful show just this past weekend. I was a guest on her show. We discussed the Biden program, which is the Haitian humanitarian program. We discussed that in length, and it was done in Creole. We have quite a few participants here who actually were doing the translation for us here, referring to the likes of Pastor Gallen, who was doing the English translation, of course, Mrs. Philogene, who was doing the French. Again, it was an interesting event. We had a wonderful time. You could see our sister here, Mrs. Botex here. She's well versed in what she does, and we were just fortunate to have her, and it was a great show, and we thank you for the invitation. All right. Well, Dr. Azor just challenged me here. She just challenged me. Well, one thing Dr. Azor doesn't remember, she has not signed up anyone here for the Robert Duverny Show. Well, Dr. Azor, since you challenged me, I will make sure that well, you know what? I'm going to shock you, Dr. Azor. I mean, I want you to come back on the show next week to testify on what you've been receiving, okay? I want to make sure that I take care of your stuff this week. Okay, I'm not going to give you the exact, but then again, by the time we meet next Tuesday here, God's willing, I want you to tell the folks on the show, what have you received from the Robert Duverny Show? All right, my folks, all right. And my folks, I want you guys to challenge Dr. Azor. She's one of the loyal fans of the Robert Duverny Show. I mean, we know when the Dr. Azor is not on the show, those shows tend to go to sleep. But then again, we love her. And then, you know what? She did sign up, you know. She did sign up with a couple of folks, but then again, again, she may have to renew her signing. Again, Dr. Azor, stand still. There will be some shirts coming to you. Plus, I'm not going to tell you what's next is coming behind it. Along with these t-shirts that you'll be receiving in the mail, FedEx, from the Robert Duverny Show, there will be more stuff to come as well. All right, now guys, you just, oh wow, Pastor Gallen just signed up one. She just signed up one. All right, I'm going to check my calendar. Well, Pastor Gallen, you have 4 more to go. You let me know the color you want, the color and the size, and then guess what? It will be delivered to you in no time. Thank you, folks, and keep it coming. And again, we're going to switch topic real quick. Again, tonight, we're going to be discussing habits and how you develop habits, and then what is the ultimate result and that you're looking for. And those results will be your future. And oftentimes, as we tend to have a misconception of habits and futures, okay? Habits, that it's something that becomes part of you. In other words, there are those who tend to work out. I'm going to give you a lame example. If you were to develop a habit of working out, maybe in the morning before you head out to work, or at night, like I do, right? So you tend to keep that pace. And once you develop a habit, because it becomes a routine eventually, because all habits become routine after 21 days. So if those of you who are in a workout field, or those of you who have taken this challenge to involve in exercising, well, don't stop until you ultimately reach your goal. Oftentimes we stop in the middle of the process, and then had we hung in there just a little longer, we will reap the fruit that we had that was being there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a breaking news here. My guests are coming like there's no tomorrow. We have Mrs. Theodore from the great city of Homestead, Florida. We had a chance to see her last Friday. She was celebrating her son's birthday. I had an amazing time, and I guess I had more fun than the kids. But again, please, when you do have your son's celebration, please invite me because I love having fun. All right. Again, well, I should point out those of you in 17 days, it will be a great time. In 17 more days, it will be someone's birthday here, and in 17 days, ladies and gentlemen, it will be someone's very special to the Robert Duverny Show birthday. So you count 17 plus 1, you see what it gives you, and this is her birthday. Dr. Mrs. Theodore, again, thank you for logging into the Robert Duverny Show. We thank you for being a loyal friend to the Robert Duverny Show, and thank you for hanging in there. Again, tonight what we're discussing with you is, of course, habits and how those habits become your future. And habits, like I said earlier in the top of the segment, becomes routine. And those routine also perform without conscious thought. Okay, so in other words, once you do these type of activities, or let's say you are studying for the bar exam, or you're going for your nursing program, and you make it a priority to study, and then so you set time. Most of you guys are adults and may have a family, and so you tend to create a time to study or time to go to school. And what happened? You tend to stay within that time frame. All right. So it's very important that we create those. Again, stay here with me. I just have a note here from Mrs. Henriquez here from Pembroke Pines. She said the title of her son's book is the bridge ahead. It's only $10. Again, Mrs. Henriquez here has been a loyal friend of the Robert Duverny Show, and also a client of my firm for the past 5 years, and her son had published his first novel, and I encourage you to go on Amazon and then look at it and support this young man. It's only $10, and this is a gift. Again, I'll definitely pick up some books, and then of course do some trivia questions and on the Robert Duverny Show, making sure that my audience get a chance to read your son's book. Thank you, Mrs. Henriquez, for this wonderful news. Thank you. Bridge Ahead by the Henriquez family. Thank you again. All right, so now those habits, again, like we said, those are things that those are unconscious thought. They end up back without conscious. You're not even thinking about them. Okay, it just happened because you're already in the groove. You're in the groove, and because right now, after I'm done this show, I'm gonna go work out because I developed this habit. Since I came from my vacation, I said, well, if I want to see my health going in the right direction, if I want to see some type of progress, have a good night's sleep, and eating healthy, I need to develop these habits. And those habits eventually, folks, will be my future. So then again, there's a saying that you don't make your bed when you're sleepy, right? You've heard that expression before. So in other words, you lay out the foundation while you still can, while you still vibrant, while you still have the energy. And then eventually, when time comes, times will come, want it or not, times will come. So now when time does arrive, and you readily available. So, and the same thing when we come to, we talk about good habits such as exercise, healthy eating. I just mentioned to you also positive thinking. And one thing, folks, and I've seen so many actors, so many YouTubers, they're making mad money. You know why? There's a discipline that they develop, and they talk about how they make. They start with nothing, and they start with just a camera, just like we're doing right now, and then they generate a 6 income figure within a year, within 12 months, and then the following year they're making seven figures. So think about it. So that requires a certain level of habits. Again, I'd like your questions as I go along. I'm going to go to the next phase here. And again, like I said, I still want to give you some goodies tonight. You are the primary recipient of the Robert Duverny Show. Just before I close tonight, I'm gonna show you some of the T-shirts that I have in case. My sister Rona Dominic. She's no longer Duverny. She's a Dominic. All right, welcome onto the Robert Duverny Show. Thank you for logging in. Again, our habits shape our future, influencing our action, thoughts, and beliefs. So, folks, as you engage in those activities, again, we talk about the exercising, we talk about creating time to study, creating time to even be a better businesswoman, a better businessman. So, that in itself, you're creating a pattern. And oftentimes you don't even realize it. Remember at the top of the segment, I shared with you that these are things you're doing without conscious thought. Okay? So in other words, the fact that you already up to par. In other words, you're doing it. So you wake up the next day. If you don't go work out, you say, well, something is wrong here. No, I mean, you could be moody because hey, you off track. So now those and then that right there get your attention immediately. You say, well, I got to get out of bed and start jogging. And then once you jog, once you exercise, and guess what? You got oxygen coming through your brain. You see, you're freeing yourself from a lot of toxics. Think about it. Look at just the benefit of exercising. All right. So how important it is. And then guess what? And you start having new ideas. You start seeing things differently. So those habits that we just talked about, those initiatives that you've taken on early on, these are habits that would ultimately decide your future. And your future, oftentimes, is right in your hands. I'm sure there may be some of you probably as well. My future is in God's hand. Yes, your future is in God's hand. Of course. We're not going to argue this. That's not the point here. I'll just make the clear point. Of course, your future is always in God's hand. But again, what's in your hands? So God's give us these intellectual factors that we can think for ourselves. God's not going to give you $100,000 overnight or give you $1 million because He knows you're going to blow it. You don't even share it with the poor. So He will give you ideas that you can convert these ideas into greatness. And then you can say, well, I didn't do it all alone. All along, God provided me with ideas, with thoughts, with determination. That's what ultimately will reach. All right. So again, it's important that we keep those habits, even saving money. I mean, I'm sure most of you into fashion or what have you. I mean, but again, we need to start saving money because you just have to save for the rainy day. So you create a habit. So most of you might be in 401k. I mean, I'm not gonna delve into that too much, but then again, it's all about habits, And as you save, and then oftentimes when the fact that you have some funds saved up, let's say there's an opportunity that presented itself. Yet, the fact that you have that much cash available, oftentimes you go to places and those of us with the cash, you're more likely to get a better deal because you control the negotiation, so to speak, right? Because you come in with cash. Hey, I'm not going to finance. Hey, I'm not going to put this on layaway. You want $100,000 for this? I tell you what. How about I give you $75,000 right now? We'll close the deal. No, we can't do 75. I said, bro. I mean, you don't have to. I'm just saying. I can get you a sale tonight. I'll give you $75,000 for this vehicle or whatever it may be. And guess what? You go home and I go home. We're both happy. How's that? Now or you rather spend your time with someone who's trying to work things out, put it on layaway. Because cash always was. So had you not saved up enough funds, guess what? You wouldn't be able to strike this deal. So by doing that, you just saved $25,000. Because you created a habit, and that habit will ultimately will be your future. But now I don't know a car, but then again it could be a house, and then again I'll just give you that just to give you something to think about. All right. All right, but Mrs. Theodore just asked, yes, but you must do what you need to do. Oh, yes, of course. Again, that's exactly what we discuss here. I mean, in order for you to do what you need to do, you need to start with these baby steps. Oftentimes, we tend to take a jump, a big jump, and we miss. Guess what? We say, you know what? It wasn't for me. And that's what happened oftentimes with a lot of people. And if I see you succeed, you may have started somewhere. Maybe you had someone who coached you along the way that I don't have. So the best I can do, it's either partner up with you, or you, even if someone was there for you at a given time, I think you can become a mentor to a mentee. So, and then that's where we can learn a step, of how far you've gone and what it has, what it takes to get there. So I always encourage those of you who are willing to get involved in anything that is of long term, to take baby steps. And baby steps, that tells me that you're going to make mistakes. In other words, baby steps, you're going to fall at times, and then you just get back up. The fact that you're doing baby steps, if you fall, you're not gonna bust your head that bad. So you can, get up and dust yourself up, and then get back up again. But now it requires a level of consistency, and this is what I'm gearing toward. Those baby steps will eventually create that habit, and then those habits, you pick up speed, and maybe you'll probably do more investment. You will probably you probably take more risk because you've seen a thing or two prior. But again, and this will ultimately decide your future. All right. So thank you for pointing this out, Mrs. Theodore. Thank you. And it's your birthday month. I think you fired up this evening. Okay. Now we can also discuss a variety of other stuff that requires those small steps, those habits that would eventually become your future. And in your future, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it's already 9:17. Please ask your question. I'll be more than happy to answer you. And yeah, as I said, once you develop those baby steps, those habits, and again, they become part of you. And then by becoming part of you, they become your future, because you would not be able to function without those habits that you've put forth. And this is where I wanted to lead you tonight on by creating those habits that will determine your future. Your future depended heavily on your habits. All right. So what we do today will surface in the future and also pay dividends. That's all I have for you this evening, my fellow Americans. If you have any questions, please feel free. And those of you still online, I'm going to grab some T-shirts to show you what I have in store for you. And Dr. Azor, your T-shirts are coming. Stay tuned. All right. So let me get you a quick view here of what I have for you in store. All right. All right. We're back, folks. We're back. So what we have here for you, again, we have those red hats, okay? Does that match with my, how's that? There you go. So we got quite a few of those hats here from the Robert Duverny Show. Okay. Now, if you did ask questions, you're going to have those. If you sign up 5 folks tonight, so you're going to have a couple hats like this, all right? So we have those. We also have some blue here. All right, those of you like blue, I'm sure ladies will look beautiful in those blue. Those blue comes with their T-shirt as well. And again, hey, You stop yourself, folks. Get those signed up. And also, if you like black, it may not be a good idea right now to wear black, in the heat. Again, they're right here. And I got quite a few boxes here. Please help me get rid of those. I got tons of those. I'll be more than happy to send those to you. Again, sign up these folks and let them know that the Robert Duverny Show comes on every Tuesday. As they're signing up on YouTube tonight, and I'll be more than happy to get those expedited. Mr. Ambrose, you have your medium here. All right, you let me know which color you want, and then with your 5 folks, and then guess what? You'll be receiving your gift. Again, Dr. Hazel, again, who challenged me this evening. All right. You have your stuff coming your way, all right? Sounds good. All right. These are free, of course. My sister, Dr. Dominic, here just asked, are those free? Well, Dr. Dominic, just so you know, there's nothing free in life. It requires a level of effort on your part. So what you'll do, you make sure you sign up 5 subscribers to the Robert Duverny Show. And then guess what? One of these lovely polo t-shirt from the Robert Duverny with a hat will be at your disposal. Again, that way you would appreciate it, because I'm sure you would look good, and then folks will say, Robert Duverny Show, and this is the show in town. So you'll be an ambassador to the Robert Duverny Show, and by looking good and knowing that you have 5 folks you sign up this evening, and by the time we meet next week, every time you sign up 5 folks, you have a t-shirt, a hat. How's that? All right? Well, if there's only one show in town, ladies and gentlemen, this is it, the Robert Duverny Show. Until next time, my fellow Americans, have a lovely evening. I'd like to wish you all a happy month of August. The month of August has 31 days. This is the first day of the month. I figured I started with my lovely viewers. I would not want to be anywhere else this evening but with you. Until next time, have a lovely evening, and I shall see you in not too distant future. Have a good night, and sign these folks up. All right.